Alrighty, so today I'm going to be drawing a marketable figurine in my SOHO Urban Artist Brick Sketchbook and with my Pilot G2 0.38mm size pen. I see a lot of YouTube channels with marketable plushies, but not a lot with marketable figurines, and so I was thinking maybe I should make my own marketable figurine. Well, I'm not actually going to be making my own marketable figurine anytime soon, frankly put, but I figured I'd at least draw one, and so as such, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. And I certainly am quite excited to see how this turns out. It's going to be very simple. There's not really going to be too much going on, but I'm thinking as long as what I have in my head, as long as the idea I have in my head pans out on paper pretty well as well, I'm thinking this should look better than not. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get my SOHO Urban Artist Brick Sketchbook all opened up to the nearest open page. And now that I am on the nearest open page, just go and fold it over just like that kind of thing. And now make sure that's kind of stretching off that way so it doesn't kind of get in my way and everything like that. And now let's go ahead and get my pen all out and let's go ahead and get to drawing the marketable figurine that I'm going to be drawing in today's video. So I think what I'm going to draw for the marketable figurine is just going to be one of my standard sort of leg man style characters, sort of a circle up here with like some eyes and a mouth and stuff like that kind of thing. There are some characteristics I need to keep in mind that would be best for a marketable figurine, such as pieces of the face not stretching off the face. It's going to be cheaper to make a figurine with less, I'd have to say, with less manufacturing issues. And so as such, got to make it a little bit less complex. So I got to make sure I don't have any of the facial features sticking off the face and everything like that kind of thing. Got to make sure that the marketable figurine is very cheap to make. Got to make sure that my profit margins stay up and everything like that. And then I'm thinking the legs and arms is probably just going to be the same as usual. But of course, a marketable figurine needs a stand. And so of course, I've got to make sure I draw this character with a stand as well. There's a lot of considerations to take with a marketable figurine, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead and draw the circle that is going to make up the head of the character, just like that. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of a face now. So let's just do a little bit of a nose, just like that. A little bit of an eye right there, not stretching off the face. Very careful not to make it not stretch off the face. Just like that. And then a little bit of a mouth, just right there, not stretching off the face once again. Some little details on either side, just like that. Little forehead line, little eye things, just like that. Maybe some eyebrows, just like that. Once again, not stretching off the face, being very careful to make sure nothing stretches off the face. Got to make sure I keep my manufacturing costs low and my profit margins high after all. And now that I have done the face, I think now it's time for me to go ahead and do the legs real quick. So let's go ahead and do one leg right here. And another leg right here. Gotta make sure it's as straight as possible because I gotta make sure there's no sort of anything in manufacturing that could make my cost go up. I gotta make this as cheaply as possible after all. Let's go ahead and do some arms as well. And now some feet, just like that. And some little hands. And then, of course, since this is indeed a marketable figurine, I need to make sure it has a little bit of a stand. So let's draw just a little bit of a stand, just right there. And there we go. So he's just standing on a little bit of a stand, just like that kind of thing. Very small stand, nothing too big, maybe a little bit too small. I do feel like this marketable figurine might be a bit top heavy. So if I was to make this character into a real figurine, I might make the stand a little bit better. That's not really the right way of putting it. A little bit bigger and better is the right way of putting it, though. A little bit bigger just to make sure that, oh, wait, I don't need to make it bigger. I could just make the stand weighted. But I feel like if I just made a bigger plastic piece, then it would actually be cheaper than weighting the stand. So actually, in reality, the stand would probably be bigger just because I got to make sure that this isn't top heavy so it falls over and everything like that. That's one of the most annoying things with figurines is when they topple over and everything like that. Don't want that to happen. So either I'd have to make the stand weighted or I'd have to make it bigger. I'm thinking I'd probably make it bigger just for cost reduction in all honesty. And, well, that's pretty much the character all done in all honesty. I'm thinking I do want to add, maybe not more details to the character, but I'm thinking I want to make it more distinct. Of course, if I was to make this little character into a marketable figurine, I'd want to make sure that it looks absolutely spick and span, absolutely perfect, while not driving up the cost of production at all. So I got to make sure I don't make this look super sketchy or anything like that. Then I'm going to have a bunch of lines that I need to kind of take into account and everything like that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to go over all of the lines again very smoothly, just to make them a little bit darker, a little bit more distinct. And that's going to be the marketable figurine right there, I'm thinking. So let's go ahead and just be very careful with this. Make sure no lines kind of stretch out too much at least. So just like that, I think I'm going to do 2 layers. Just like that kind of thing. Maybe 4. Just like that. And I'm going to do another layer on the nose. Another on the eyes. And I got to make sure I don't have any lines too far together or too close together either, because then in printing and in manufacturing, those lines might become blurred. It might look really good as a design, but having really up-close lines when you're manufacturing something, from what I know at least, can lead to lines blurring together and everything like that. And so you got to be really careful to make sure there's not too many lines too close together. And I think I've really nailed that with this character. I don't think there's too many lines too close together, and I think it should be just about perfect in all honesty. It really does all depend on print quality and what you want from a marketable figurine, but we're looking at high profit margins. We're looking at low product cost from a production point of view. So we want to make sure that the cost stays low, which means that we want something cheap to produce, which means that we might not want the highest quality print in the world. So let's go ahead and now do the arms. Not once, not twice, but I'm thinking 3 times. I kind of messed that up. I think I want these feet to actually be flat. I messed that up a little bit. I'm going to have to change that if I actually make this character into an actual marketable figurine. Excuse me. There's a lot of stuff to take into consideration, though, in all honesty. There's a lot of stuff to take into consideration, and I'm sure I'm not even talking about everything that's to take into consideration in today's video. I'm sure there's much more to take into consideration than what I've already mentioned. But if you guys would like to see this character as a marketable figurine, let me know in the comments down below. I have absolutely no qualms with making this character into a marketable figurine and trying to make as much money off of it as possible. Absolutely no issue with that at all. I will drive this character into the ground and make as much money off of it as possible. I like my money. They call me Scrooge McDuck. Honestly, Scrooge McDuck, what a guy. I have a lot of respect for Scrooge McDuck. His priority is money. He don't care about anything else. A lot of respect, you know what I'm saying? A lot of respect. But, I think that's pretty much all there is to this character. I think I might do one more little line going around, just like that, for the little base. But, you know, that is the marketable figurine that I've drawn in today's video. That's all there is to it. It's very simple, very low-cost production, and something I could sell with a high profit margin. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I call a marketable figurine. As a whole, from a drawing perspective, I'm pretty happy with this character, and from a marketable figurine perspective, from a profit perspective, I'm also pretty happy with this character. Just some minor things I do think I want to keep note of is that these legs, while they are very thin, they do need to be strong enough to make sure they can stand the little head up here, so I got to make sure that they're made of a very firm, nice wire that can't be like bent out of proportion, unless maybe I actually want to make that into part of the character where the like wire that's making up the legs and everything like that can actually be like bent, so you can like pose the character and everything like that. That would be interesting, I ain't gonna lie. But I think the stand as well might need to be a little bit bigger, but I think that's pretty much all there is to mention from a profit perspective. I don't think there's anything else to mention. I think that's about it in all honesty. Well, this is indeed a marketable figurine. Am I happy with this drawing? I am. Am I happy with how I've designed this marketable figurine from a profit and everything else perspective? I'd have to say I am. Well, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this drawing. And let me know in the comments down below, would you guys buy this character as a marketable figurine? If you guys would, maybe eventually I have to make it into a marketable figurine. I don't think right now, but it would be amusing to do that eventually. Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my main channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, as said, like, subscribe, and yeah, till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?